Kylian Mbappé has scored hundreds of goals and won the World Cup at just 19. He has dominated football at the highest level, yet almost no one knows how it really began. Before becoming a star, he was just a kid from a suburb near Paris, running on concrete fields and chasing something bigger than himself. This is the real story of Kylian Mbappé. He didn't grow up in the spotlight. He grew up in Bondy, where football was everywhere, on television, in the streets, and at the local club where his father coached. At home, discipline mattered. He was raised in a very strict family. His father was a coach. His mother competed at a high level in sport. Structure was part of his childhood. But nothing about his future was guaranteed. From his local club, he managed to enter France's elite youth academy, Clairefontaine. He wasn't seen as a finished star. He was often the joker of the group. But the structure gave him discipline. He knew how to separate things. When he stepped onto the pitch, it was another world. He was fast, direct, confident. But parts of his game still needed work. On his bedroom walls, there were posters of Cristiano Ronaldo. He watched him, studied him, tried to move like him. The dream was clear. Now it was time for the next step. Eventually, a door opened. Monaco, a real opportunity. He didn't walk straight into the first team. He began in the youth setup, then the reserve side. Minutes with the senior team weren't guaranteed. He was young, still learning when to pass, when to slow the game down. Just proof, week after week. February 20th, 2016, 17 years old. Monaco against Troyes, his first League One goal. It didn't shake Europe, but it meant something. Now he was sharing the pitch with Radamel Falcao, Bernardo Silva, Thomas Lemar, experienced players, players he could grow beside. Then came Europe, Manchester City. He attacked without hesitation. He scored. He played with freedom. Borussia Dortmund, 2 goals across the tie. 17 years old. On Champions League nights, he wasn't a global superstar yet, but he was getting closer to the stage he had dreamed about. The run ended in the semifinal. Juventus, Gianluigi Buffon in goal. But Mbappé had made his mark. And that same season, Monaco won League One. France came next. March 2017, Luxembourg, his first cap, learning. Olivier Giroud was ahead of him in the hierarchy. Ousmane Dembélé was competing too. Nothing was given. Thursday, August 31st, 2017, against the Netherlands. He starts on the bench. 75th minute, he comes on. Stoppage time, he scores. His first goal for France. That same day, his move to Paris Saint-Germain became official. Around 180 million euros, one of the biggest transfers in football history. He joined a superstar at the time, Neymar. Some journalists later spoke about tensions between Neymar and Mbappé, but both players said they were close, almost like best friends on and off the pitch.
But in the French national team, things were different. Didier Deschamps didn't care about hype. He cared about discipline. He cared about structure. Mbappé was still one of the youngest players in the squad, and Deschamps made that clear. During preparation games before the World Cup, especially against Italy in June 2018, the coach repeatedly corrected him. Not about scoring, about positioning, about playing for the team. Mbappé later admitted Deschamps spoke to him a lot during that period, sometimes quietly, sometimes firmly, because talent alone wasn't enough. A World Cup was coming. Russia, 2018, the biggest stage in football. And suddenly, the whole world was watching. In the round of 16, France faced Argentina, Lionel Messi, a giant of the game. And that night, Mbappé exploded. He ran through the Argentine defense. He earned a penalty. He scored. He ran again and again. 4-0 pace. 2 goals. One unforgettable performance. At 19 years old, Mbappé became the youngest player since Pelé to score twice in a World Cup knockout match. The world had just witnessed something special. France kept moving forward, match after match, step by step. And on July 15th, 2018, France became world champions. 19 years old, Kylian Mbappé had conquered the world. After the World Cup, Mbappé returned to Paris as a global star. But the pressure at PSG was enormous. Champions League nights were the real test. In February 2021, against Barcelona at Camp Nou, Mbappé delivered one of the greatest performances of his career. 4 goals against Lionel Messi's team. The football world took notice again. But football can change quickly. A few months later at Euro 2020, France faced Switzerland in the round of 16. The match ended in penalties. Mbappé stepped forward and missed. Switzerland eliminated France. For the first time in years, the young superstar faced serious doubt. Mbappé later admitted that night affected him deeply. He said he felt responsible for the defeat. Criticism followed. But great players respond. In 2022, PSG faced Real Madrid in the Champions League knockout stage. Mbappé scored a brilliant goal in the first leg. Paris seemed in control. Then everything changed. Karim Benzema scored a hat-trick in just 17 minutes. PSG collapsed, and Mbappé walked off the pitch, eliminated. That defeat raised even more questions about his future, because for years, one club had always been linked to his name: Real Madrid. Meanwhile, with France, Mbappé kept growing. Then came Qatar, the World Cup final, France against Argentina. Mbappé scored once, then again, and again, a hat-trick. In a World Cup final, only the second player in history to do it. But football can be cruel. France lost on penalties. Even in defeat, Mbappé had produced one of the greatest individual performances football had ever seen. In 2023, Didier Deschamps made another important decision. Kylian Mbappé became the captain of the French national team at just 24 years old. The same coach who once pushed him so hard was now trusting him with the captain's armband. The kid from Bondy was now leading the same team he had once joined as the youngest player in the squad. In 2024, in his final season in Paris, Mbappé was still producing incredible numbers. Goals kept coming. But the relationship with the club was reaching its end. At Euro 2024, things became even harder. He broke his nose early in the tournament, played with a mask, carried the pressure of an entire country. France reached the semi-finals, but the criticism around him never stopped. And after years of speculation, the moment finally arrived. He finally made the decision many expected. Kylian Mbappé joined Real Madrid.
1, 2, 3, a la Madrid!
The club he had admired since he was a child. A new chapter had begun.
At Real Madrid, Mbappé quickly became one of the central figures of what is probably the best team in the world. Goals kept coming, trophies were expected, and the pressure is even bigger. By early 2026,
Kylian Mbappé had already scored 369 goals in his professional career, including 82 with Real Madrid at 27 years old. But Mbappé doesn't play for the statistics. What he is looking for are the Champions League, the Ballon d'Or, and another World Cup. And in 2026, France has a chance to win a new World Cup, with Mbappé as captain, the player expected to carry a generation. And the story is still being written.